the saddle, but it's about 4 o'clock, and hopefully this big boy comes out. This property's been in our family since the late 1800s, and my grandpa who owned this just passed away this past summer, and so I think this is my 5th hunt, and it's 2 hours for me to come down here, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm a waterfowl hunter primarily, so I'm hoping we can get something done today. The conditions are good. He hasn't showed up on this camera since like last Friday, but last Thursday at 6:20 he was out there right in front of that camera 25 yards from me, so fingers crossed. Honestly, any decent buck that comes by gets me excited. I'm gonna shoot. I've never shot a buck before with my bow. We've been practicing a lot, so we're gonna see if we can get it done tonight. raised up on him because my pen's at 25. That right there is 25. I think I hit him pretty good. I can't see him anymore. Yep, he's gonna go down. It's just a matter of when and where. That's my leg's shaking. What a thrill. I called him in across that field. And I don't know if he's made it out of the field. I can't see. He was kimping really, really hard. I think I nicked the liver. I think I got him maybe. Just... Really, I shoot the first buck of my life with a bow.
Stop.
Dude, I hit one.
Did you? A nice one?
Yeah, it was a little low and or it was a little back.
Yeah.
I don't. He hunched up really bad, and I don't know. I can't see him anymore, but he went off to the north.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. The arrow was sticking out of him. I could see his guts.
Yeah.
It's not.
You see his guts sticking out?
Yeah, I got a video of it. I tried to send.
Out the backside, you can see him?
I mean, it went like he was broadside, but he came around. I like had to lean over the top of this tree.
Yeah.
And he was just at like 30 yards, and I had my pin at 25, and I think I got a little too excited and pulled it back just a little bit.
Just, okay. And the arrow's still in him, you think?
Oh yeah, I saw it sticking out of him, and he was bleeding like crazy.
Yeah. I'd probably give it. How long ago did you shoot him?
Just now.
Okay. Yeah. I'd probably give it a little bit, and then get down and check out for blood and stuff and see.
I mean, I know I whacked him. I mean, he was hunched up.
Anything else?
He was hunched up really bad.
That's awesome. If he's bleeding a ton, dude, I think you'll probably have him.
All right.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean,
still, is there any does around?
No, dude, I rattled, and then he came out, and he was working that west fence line, and he frickin' he came across and then worked on the back side of that waterway. Because I heard something rummaging around, but I couldn't. It sounded like he took off, and I don't know if there was another little buck up there, but then
that's awesome.
Dude, that's my first buck with a bow. I mean,
dude, that's sweet.
That's
awesome that you rattled him in too.
He'll die eventually, you think, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you see guts hanging out of him, and I think that arrow, if it's still stuck in him, it's gonna tear him up when he's running around.
I mean, it was out the other side.
Yeah, I think you probably got him. He'll be dead somewhere.
Okay.
I probably don't push him too much, but check what the blood looks like. If it's super red blood, you're good to go. If it's blood and it's showing a bunch of guts kind of in it, it's got a bunch of like gut parts in it, then I'd probably maybe take a little bit more time before I go look for him.
Okay. He might be down in this cornfield. I don't know. He was like slowly walking off.
Okay. Yeah, I'd give him 10, 15 minutes and just kind of work your way out of the tree.
Well, I'm probably going to give it, if he's in that field still, I can't see him, but I'm going to give it probably like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And dude, I'd probably go ahead and knock another one when you're going looking for him a little bit. I'd knock another one in just in case he's injured or something, he beds down.
Well, he's out in the open, and if where he was headed to, he's going to the neighbor's property, so I can't really shoot over there.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We just got done trick-or-treating.
I shot one.
Yeah?
Not the greatest shot in the world. He like came off to the side that I really couldn't. I had one little sliver, and I had to like lean over the via this tree to shoot. But I hit him. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give him some time though. He's a little far back.
Yeah, young buck?
No, he's mature. At least it looked like I mean, he was a decent deer. I can't tell if he's in this field still or not. He was hunched up really bad, and yeah, so.
Hopefully, I'm sure you'll find him, but.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to probably give him some time.
Yeah, well, let me know once you find him, okay?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Well, good job, Mom.
Thanks. I was trying to do an interview and you didn't pick up my phone call. I mean, that's my first deer, my first buck with a bow, and you didn't even pick up.
We were trick-or-treating at the mall.
That's all right. So,
well, good job.
All right.
All right.
See ya. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. Well, it is the next day. It's about 11:30 right now. It's November 1st. I shot that buck last night and I caught his blood about 70 yards from where I think I hit him at, and he had a good amount of blood. But after that, I decided I was just going to back out and let him sit for the evening and hopefully give him plenty of time to expire. I got two really good buddies that decided they would be willing to come down and help me today to track him and hopefully recover this deer. And this deer would mean a lot to me. My grandpa passed away this past summer, and this is the ground that we've had in our family for over 100 years. And I was trying to make it my mission that I was going to try and shoot a buck down here. And so I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. We had a couple bush lights at camp, but I'm nervous and excited, and hopefully we can put a tag on this deer and kind of wrap up this story and get my first bow buck down. Well, you guys, it is Tuesday, November 26th, and October 31st, I came down here to do a deer hunt, and I was set up right down there in one of them trees, and I had this buck come through. He jumped kind of the fence right over here and then came up behind me about 30 yards, and I put a shot on him. And looking at the footage, which you guys have watched, I knew it was a little bit back, and he was slightly quartered away, and I felt like I had hit possibly the liver, and I gave him 16 hours, so I shot him just before 5 o'clock that night and gave him till noon the next day, and had some buddies come down and help me track this particular deer. And we tracked him for 600, 700, 800 yards with blood. He kind of went into the neighbor's property, crossed a couple of drainage ditches, and then he obviously was in the CRP that's over there, and we lost blood, couldn't find him, tried grid searching, couldn't find him. And so at one point we ended up bumping a different buck, but we thought, you know, maybe it was a little bit further back than I thought, and I didn't hit him quite where I was expecting. But we backed out of there after grid searching for a while and looking through all the different places by water, you know, in these drainage ditches, and we could never find them. And I mean, a huge thanks to Cole and Dylan for helping me track. And, you know, part of the hard part with this is, you know, as with archery, obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than just pulling the trigger. I mean, if you're shooting archery, I mean, it takes a lot of time and practice, which I've been doing all summer long trying to prepare for this, and it still wasn't the shot that animal deserved, and that's something that really hurt me. But at the end of the day, this deer was probably within 200 yards of us from where all the different areas that we were tracking. He had gone uphill versus downhill. But Sunday night, I got a phone call from a gal. I'd put out messages to all the neighbors around, hey, you know, the deer went this way, you know, this is what was going on. I'd really like to recover this deer. I mean, this property that I'm standing on right now, I mean, this tree, my grandpa used to sit underneath of this tree and read a book. And at his funeral this summer, that was one of the things that I brought up when I was speaking about it. And my goal this year was to shoot a mature buck down here on his farm, because he really entrusted in me on, you know, what kind of things do you want, you know, all this other stuff. And so that was kind of my goal for this year, is to harvest a nice deer. So obviously, not being able to find that animal that I had rattled and grunted in, and thought I made a good enough shot to harvest him in a clean manner. You know, this deer, he expired overnight, and we just weren't able to find him. If you ever track deer in CRP, I mean, it's extremely difficult, but I mean, here he is. So it's a nice 8-pointer. He's got kind of a funky little thing right here. That was pretty cool. He's got a kicker off of his G2 there. Good amount of base here. He was definitely a mature deer. A little flyer off of his G2 on this side, and he's just kind of an interesting looking deer. Definitely a mature deer. I mean, I think he was probably 4 years old, with some of the pictures that I have of him. And I know that some of you out there, you know, might not understand this, but I wanted to show this because I've said ever since I started this channel, I'm going to provide you guys with honest and real content that I go out and do. And, you know, being able to spend time in the outdoors and do things like this, it's important and it's special. I mean, it's something that I'll remember forever. I mean, there were a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, just thinking about, well, what did I need to do different or whatever else that way. But I can tell you right now, honestly, I mean, just look at the dagger on this thing. I mean, okay, I got a bush light can here, but I mean, that's a nice freaking deer. And I'm just kind of sitting here taking it all in. It's been a little bit of a emotional roller coaster. Ace is out here just ripping around having fun. But that is my first archery buck. I am extremely happy to find him. And something that I'll remember forever. So we stuck with it. We found him. I thank the neighbors, I don't know how many freaking times for everything, and for letting me know that they had found him, because this is truly a special deer to me, and something that I think he's gonna end up on the wall. First bow buck. It's on Grandpa's farm, and he passed away this past summer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I hope everybody has had some luck this year. Obviously, I've got my tag punched here, October 31st, and pretty special moment to be kind of just soaking in on one of my favorite places on this farm. But thank you guys for watching this episode of Chasing the Call, and we'll see you all in the next one.